Alright, last time we got the alternator all mounted up on the tractor on the Allis Chalmers WD. Today we're going to get rid of that redneckery mess and we're going to try and get the battery box mounted back on and get a battery stuck in it and get some wiring done up. I've got a new volt gauge, toggle switch, and an inline fuse. So we'll see about getting that all done up. So first of all, let me see about getting this mess here taken off and work on getting the new battery, or the original battery box, stuck back on. Alright, catch up with you in a minute. Right, this is not the original battery box to the tractor. This is one that my stepdad had built. It's a heavy duty steel battery box. The original battery box rotted out, rusted away, and he built this one. The only thing I do not like is it is very difficult to get a battery down in through the top. I believe the original ones, or at least was the one that was on this tractor when I remember it, you loaded the battery from the side. So I am going to take a cutting wheel and I'm going to cut these welds, grind them out of here, and I want this to be removable so I can load a battery from the front. That's a lot better and easier to do. So let me take this back off here. I've just got it sitting, it's not bolted down yet. Take this back off here, I'll get my cutting wheel out and cut them and get that opened up. Right, we're in the shop again, back on the Allis Chalmers WD. Last time I got the alternator put on and all mounted up. This time I got rid of the redneckery that was a mess of a battery and wires and stuff, and kind of got things less rednecked. There's still a little bit in there, but that's just the way I am. So let's start with the alternator. I ordered what was supposed to have been a single wire GM alternator. It was supposed to be self-exciting and self-regulating, and all you was supposed to have to do was run one wire from this post to your battery or to a switch, and if you want, your voltmeter, and then to the battery. Turns out this was not what I ordered was supposed to be, but what I got was not. So I ended up having to do the GM 3-wire hookup, which is kind of hard to see, but there's 2 wires, 2 posts right here. The one post on the right, it needs to come around and hook to where the main power going to the battery is. That tells the alternator how much to charge. And then the other wire leads to the battery and to the voltmeter to a switched service, and then that tells the alternator to turn on or off. So I had to do a little more wiring. So I've got those wires ran up, and they come around and go to the battery box. This battery box, like I said originally, this whole side was still on. So you had to load the battery from the top, which was very difficult to do with the gas tank sticking out. So what I did was I took and cut this side panel out. I'm pretty sure the original battery box that was on this tractor, that's how it was. The top came off and then this side panel came off, so you could load your battery from the side and hook everything up from the top. So that's kind of how I put it back. I have to figure out a way to mount this down. It's just sitting there for right now. So it comes off. And then the battery that I put in was a little bit taller than the battery that I took out. The battery that I took out was absolute junk. So I robbed the battery out of my 48 and put in the tractor because it was the right size. So I stuck this piece of rubber matting on top of the positive post so we don't have any 4th of July sparks. So, and then take that top off, and then this is just sitting here for now, and it comes off, and now you actually have access to your battery. I stuck a little 1x in the front here so the battery can't go forward, and I have these 2 wires. One is for the headlight switch, which it comes on. So that's my main power for the headlights. The other one is for the power feed to the voltmeter. And then this wire is the one that comes straight from the alternator to charge the battery. And then I've got 2 ground wires hooked in over here. That's to ground the headlights and also ground the magneto switch. So this is the magneto switch. When it's in, the tractor can run. When you pull it out, it grounds and kills the magneto and the tractor dies. So that's how I've got this little mess rigged up. If you can tell here, if I can get my camera all around where I need it to be. Alright, got the camera all around where we can see maybe. When you turn on the switch for the power, it turns on the volt gauge, lights it up, and you can read how many volts you have currently. I will push that switch down so the tractor can actually run and start. And if you'll watch, the voltmeter will drop when it's cranking, and then when it starts, it'll jump up and actually be charging. Shut the tractor off, kill the power, and we're all ready to go. So, like I said, it's not quite factory, but it is a heck of a lot better than the mess I had there to begin with. And I think what I'm going to do is this side panel that I cut out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill a couple holes through the sides and get some cotter pins and run some cotter pins through. That'll hold this piece in place. Then like I said, I've got this rubber matting that I put in there to keep the positive side from grounding out. And in this piece, I'll just have to figure out a way to keep her on there. It may be heavy enough it'll stay anyway. But you can see where this control panel was originally mounted, which put everything up a little higher where you could see it better, but it was also further back and made it very difficult from the seat to reach. It's still not great where it is now, but at least I can reach it a little bit better. And like I said, I'm pretty sure the original battery box, that's where it was mounted anyway. So that's pretty much going to do it for getting the electrical system up and going on the old WD. I need to get it out, get it cleaned up. The paint's not great. It's been painted a 3 times. The last time I painted it myself, I never got any decals for it and put on it. So I think what I will do is I'm going to leave the paint alone, but I need to get it cleaned up. I think I'll go ahead and get the decals and put the decals on it. Kind of leave it the rustic look. And our local steam engine association, their feature tractor this year is Allis Chalmers. So I think I might get this thing geared up. I've got a 3-point bottom plow, or not a 3-point. I have a 3-bottom plow that is snap coupler. I think I may put on it and take to the show with me, which means I'll have to take the 3-point setup off. I do have the snap couplers that go on the lift arms. Put them back on. Pull the drawbar off and then hook the plow up. So we may do that in a future video. But for now, I think we got the old girl good enough. I'm going to take and run it around the yard a little bit. Maybe up and down the road, just to kind of make sure nothing blows up in my face. And so until next time, thanks guys.